What's up, people? Turtle here. Today, digging out a personal favorite. This is the G.I. Joe Mobile Command Center. This is actually the second version of it, the Spy Troops version from 2003, I believe is when I got it. And it is, as far as I can tell, it's the exact same vehicle as the 87 original, just some color variances. And if you're familiar with the original, you probably noticed just right at looking at it. Um, so I've got it unfolded here. We'll take a quick look at everything, and then I'm gonna fold it back up into like vehicle mode, and then we'll look at it like that. So I guess we'll start at the ground level here. A quick note on the color stuff. All right, so the vehicle itself, the original color isn't too different than this, but it's a little more ruddy. It's a little more warm than this. And the stuff that's almost white looking plastic, that was just a darker shade of gray. And the stuff that's dark gray is really like a really dark forest green on the original. So that's the color differences basically. Um, Maybe the tank treads were maybe darker too. But that's pretty much it. Just at a glance, the boon arm is like a more hazard yellow. It's like gold. It's like almost like pearlescent gold now in this version, but the original is almost like that six decal color there, kind of a maize color. And so we'll take a look. This first level on here is a motor pool, and you've got like some like little air tools over here, um, fueling station, engine that comes up. You can take it out of there, and this boon here has a little hook arm in there. You can see that you put on the end, and you can pull that out. Work on it. And you can fit a small vehicle in here. Like I've got a couple of chassis here. So, yeah, here's basically a chassis to a armadillo, just so you can see the scale of putting a vehicle in there. I've got what is this, a vamp here. Yeah, the vamp fits in there. Anything bigger than that, you're probably not going to be able to close it up. But just so you get a scale of which you can fit in that little bay there. We ought to always put a triple T in there. Although you can't close it up with it in there. But I've just put it in there just for the, it fit pretty good. And let's see what else we got here. We got a weapon rack over here that was always handy dandy. Don't stick any handguns in there, because even as a little kid, really tough to reach in there and get to the bottom of that thing. But so that's about it on the ground level. I'll note that like right here and like right here, like these places. All right, so there's 4 spotlights and 6 guns that come with this thing. In here, I've got 3 of the guns. I don't know if the other 3 are with the vintage parts that I have. When I was like teenagers, my best friend had this as a kid, the original version, and his teenager was cleaning out his basement, and I seen a whole bunch of GI Joe stuff in his trash. I was like, "Oh, dude, do you care if I have that?" And he's like, "No, take it." So I've got a bunch of the original parts, and actually the driver too. And this actually comes with a driver too, a version of Duke that I cannot find. I'd love to show him to you, but I have no idea where he is, or if I even still have him. But that's about it for the lower level here, and we'll get it in vehicle mode once we get it our little tour here done and check it out like that. All right, so up here we've got, it's kind of like a slash between computer room, medical room, and holding area, jail area. And you got over here, you got a couple computer terminals. No decals. I thought they would have like decals for the screens, but they don't. A little swivel chair that you can slide back and forth, and radar screen. As a kid, I always thought that was really cool. It reminded me of Star Wars, the bunker room there. Now these med beds or whatever, you can fold these up, and they just kind of look like computer terminals or mainframes, or if you wanted to go that route with it. And then you've got a one-man cell here Don't know where you go to the bathroom in there, but it's probably not good. So that's that level. Nothing really else here. And then up at the top is kind of like the munitions area. Lighting here is but yeah, you've got an extra set of missiles for this thing underneath here, and a little helipad on the side there. And right here is like an escape slide, and we would always like have like like the tomahawk at the bottom, and slide the guys down to load it up. Excuse me. And we did not. I don't remember knowing that this elevator would hook on the side there, but when you take it off, there's that notch. And as a kid, I always wondered what that notch was for. I was just stupid. I didn't know how to put the elevator there, but that's where that goes. And which little elevator there, not really practically. There's no way you're getting from the top of this to in this vehicle like without a little bit of parkour there. But all right, well, we'll fold this thing up and take a look at it and take a look in the cockpit there in just 1 second. All right, we got this thing packed up here. It's like a giant bread box kind of tank thing. On the side, the elevator sticks on the side there. To me, it seems like they should have put it somewhere there to cover up those open holes. Just, as a kid, I thought that. I was like, but I did figure out that it went there as a kid. I did at least figure that out. All right, so when you unfold this thing, I don't know why it does not want to stay in there. I'm not going to force it while I'm making this video here and break it for your viewing enjoyment. So that's the side profile there. Little missile rack in the back still. All right, so we'll get around to the front here. You got 2 guns on the front. This little minesweeper bumper thing. And you can put three dudes in the front. All right, let's flip it around to the back side here. I call it the back side because in in base mode, it's the back side there. And like as you unfold the tiers, these are stilts for that, to stabilize it or whatever. And around here, the rear of it, and that's about it. Overall, like I said, one of my favorite, the G.I. Joe headquarters or base play sets. This is probably my favorite. Cobra just had the Terrordrome, and that was it. And G.I. Joe, you had some options, The original headquarters is kind of cool. I like that. I have most of that anyway. That's pretty cool. But just being able to turn into a vehicle, always give it extra some bonus points. So other than these doors, like I said, it drives me crazy. Like as a kid, I was like, I just want to put the elevator, hang it here to cover that crap up. But whatever. It is what it is, and that's about it for G.I. Joe Mobile Command Center and Turtles Toy Box. So, all right. Well, we'll catch you next time. Later.